Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you all are doing well. If you're here with me in the US, I hope you all had a fun day yesterday for Thanksgiving. I assume there's a decent bit of you doing Black Friday shopping already, as that's already today. Unless, you've been doing a little online, as some places have started doing Black Friday deals online within the past few weeks. Anyways, I'm staying in 2008 today, and I'm looking at Kanye West's influential album of that year, 808s and Heartbreak. As I mentioned last week, and even in some of my live streams, this album influenced a ton of rappers in the 2010s in terms of, like sound and style, whether they were mainstream or not. One of the major items carried into the 2010s was essentially the use of auto-tune. I know T-Pain was or is known for the use, especially being in the 2000s and being a big name as he was, but seems like Kanye made it more popular with the release of this album. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop right into it. This is his fourth studio album that was released on November 24th, 2008, 15 years ago today. The album has a runtime of about 52 minutes and contains four singles, being Love Lockdown, Heartless, Amazing featuring Young Jeezy, and Paranoid featuring Mr. Hudson. Features include Kid Cudi, Young Jeezy, Mr. Hudson, and Lil Wayne. The album would primarily be produced by West himself, but he would be assisted by other producers such as No ID, Plain Pat, Jeff Baxter, and Mr. Hudson. This album would mark a major change in his discography as compared to his previous three studio albums, all primarily focusing more so on rap and hip hop. The album would come from the breakup with his then fiancee, Alexis Pfeiffer, and the death of his mother, Donda West, in 2007. Throughout the album, West has sung vocals with the use of autotune. As for instrumentals, it would more or less be electronically produced. It would also use minor keys in the Roland TR-808, essentially what the album is named after. And there are some recording sessions that happened in a studio in Hawaii, and Hawaii's area code also happens to be 808, which Kanye won't know until later. Anyways, continuing on, lyrics explore the themes of loss, alienated fame, and heartache, as well as being inspired by the distressing personal events and struggles with pop stardom. Again, the album would go on and change hip hop, especially with this past decade, bringing out genres like emo rap. It seems like some well known artists who have been inspired include Drake, The Weeknd, and Lil Uzi Vert. Let's go ahead and hop into some of the tracks. We start the album off with Say You Will. I feel this is a great track to start off with and set the whole mood of the album. I love the slow tempo of the track. I love the sound and production as well. One of the downsides is the verses aren't long overall, but I feel they do make an impact by just describing like this feeling of disconnect from his then fiance Alexis Pfeiffer. I personally feel it's interesting to hear the auto-tune on the track and how it sounds overall. In the first verse, some of the lyrics seem to be slurred due to the heavy amount of auto-tune used. I also love how the instrumental rides on for essentially the last 2 minutes or so of the track. I do feel the track could have been cut off earlier, but I feel this makes an important part of the track as well. Welcome to Heartbreak is the next track and features Kid Cudi. The first time I heard this track a while back, I felt it sounded like something out of an 80s video game, especially with its instrumental. However, Kanye was inspired by some 80s artists, as well as a synth pop sound, hence why the album has more of a pop and R&B sound to it rather than a hip-hop sound. I do feel this is an enjoyable track as well. Lyrically, I feel it's essentially about being disconnected from life by being too busy from work, while others are out there starting families and essentially having a good life. He becomes materialistic by purchasing things like cars and other nice luxuries to try and make up for this void and lack of people in his life. Heartless is the next track. I always loved this track. I love how it feels like it mixes hip hop and R&B. I personally love his singing on the track, even with the use of auto tune used on here. Lyrically, the track is referencing his breakup with Alexis Pfeiffer. Love Lockdown is an interesting track. I love the synths and the drums used on here. It makes it, stand out more. I also loved his singing on the chorus. RoboCop seems to be a playful track with its more upbeat instrumental. I love the orchestra attached to this track. Again, this track heavily deals with his breakup, as, I feel it's getting to. Bad News is one of the sadder tracks. I love the instrumental outro on the track, and even the build-up from the strings that are used. I feel the track is used for the death of his mother, and somewhat of his breakup, but looking at the lyrics more in depth, I feel it's more about his breakup as compared to his mother. Coldest Winter is another sad track. I feel it's a decent track. The track interpolates Tear for Fears, Memories Fade. Lyrically, the track mourns the death of his mother, Donda. I feel a lot of people can relate to this track, as well as several others. with this one being about a loss of a loved one. Pinocchio's Story is the last track on the album. It is a live recording. I see on some physical and digital copies. Some have it while others do not, so I figure I'd still cover this track anyways. So yeah, I didn't feel it was too bad of a recording, but I feel at times it gets hard to hear what he's saying. Aside from that, I feel it is a decent track. I feel the track is about being a well-known name and having a fan base, but you're not, really sure what to do, where to go, and essentially that whole idea. Well, I guess I'm gonna make this easy on myself, but I feel every track was enjoyable and unique in their own way. Today, I'll be giving this a 5 out of 5. I feel it's still a great album and one of his best albums to date. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. As usual, feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Well, this wraps up the month of November for album reviews already. Next week, kicking off December, I'll be taking a look at Walk the Moon's self-titled album.